Hey guys, it's lovely to have your company here on my Hunkydory Crafts YouTube channel. I hope you are well and I hope you're ready for another tutorial where this one I don't actually have a finished example. I've got a finished card, just a white card. We're going to do it in black and white form, but it's one that for some reason I always thought I was going to struggle with. And then it's the case of once you see it done, done. Really easy and really simple. So before we delve in, thank you for those that still continue to subscribe here. It really is much appreciated. And for those that like to comment and give me the thumbs up, thank you very much. And if you have hit that bell notification, which just means that you get an alert every single time I pop one of these videos up, then thank you very much as well. But black and white form in the future, not too distant future, we are going to be doing full kind of projects, you know, with pattern paper, adorable scoreboard, decoration, all of that. But at the moment, still just running along with some of the concepts that I've done at Hunkydory, where many people said, oh, I would love to see how that's done. This really isn't one of them, but it is one that I thought, you know what, I'm going to show you. And it's this one here, which is going to be great for an art deco. I always thought this part was going to be really quite complicated, and it ain't. So what we're going to do, and you can do this any size, absolutely any size square card. I'm going to continue with, of course, the 7x7 like that one is. We are going to do mats and layers, because you might think, gosh, triangles, that's going to be a little bit difficult, and it's not. So what we're going to do, let's go in and let's get a pencil. Let's get a pencil. You can use a pen if you want. Pencil's going to be better. And that is where we are then going to find that halfway point. So this is, so if I turn it back that way, we've got our card. It's for me, what I would class as a 10-fold card. So what we're going to do is we're just going to find that halfway point at the bottom. So let's just use our scoreboard and we're going to find that 3.5 point. What I'm going to do as well is let's do it on both sides. So 3.5, and then I'm just going to go that way, just folding it back on itself. And then once we've got right up to that edge, 3.5, which is here. So we've got 10-fold card, we've got halfway mark, and then halfway mark. These are the three key marks. And then what we're going to do is we're going to join that halfway mark up to that top part. So find your chosen line. This is where some people will pop a black line, a black permanent line to help you line up. But we're just going to go corner to mid. So corner to mid. And then what we're going to do, still at that centre point, we're then going to match it up to that halfway point on the side. So we're going to, again, choose any line, just make sure it's the same line you're joining up. And do exactly that, join up. And then what we're going to do is we've then got that centre point up to there, centre point to there. We're going to do exactly the same on this side here. So find your chosen line that you want to like. I tend to go halfway point, which is 6 inches, but just as long as you're still in that same grid or that same channel. And then we're going to do the same again. So usually what I do is I hold it in place and then just twist around like so. And that's it. That's honestly it. All you need to do is just score. So on that first one, we're going to score or fold back on itself, which is a mountain, because when you look at it that way, it's like a mountain. This one is going to be a valley, and that's because it dips like a valley. And then we're going to give that burnish, and then we're going to give that a burnish. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. And then we're going to fold that one back. Like so. And we fold that in on itself. And then there you go. You've got your card, which is definitely going to be a great one for an Art Deco, but it still stands because you've got that centre point. So that's all that you need to do to create it. Now this is the easiest way I find to do the mats and layers. So let's take whatever your cardstock's going to be, and essentially what we're going to do is we're going to repeat what we've just done. However, instead of being a card blank, this is going to be what our layers, our mats and layers would be. So it might be your mirror card, durable, scorable, whatever it is. And then what I still do, me personally, I still cut it to 7 by 7, the same size as my card front. And then I'm going to repeat exactly what I've just done. So the sides and the bottom, let's find that halfway point. So that's 3.5. That's 3.5 and 3.5. And then we're going to join, well, you can join these up, or what you can just do if you want to is just go straight to your guillotine, and you're going to cut exactly the same lines. Am I 7 by 7? Yes, it will. So where we scored from the middle to the top, then the middle to the side, instead of scoring them, we're going to cut them. Now, if you find it easier, you can draw a line from base to corner, or you can just go direct in with your guillotine or paper trimmer. And all that you're doing is you're just aligning up your central point to the corners. So let's align that one up. So the center to the corner. And then we're going to do the same again. The center to what will be the center, like so. And then we're going to do the same on the opposite side here. So align up, cut, and then align up, and then cut. So then there we've got what are going to be the matching layers to go on top. But if you see, it's bang on matching. I don't want that. I want a nice matting layer. So what I do is I don't trim all the way around. I just trim from one of the sides, which tends to be the top. Now you are going to you might want to do you might want to measure it and do a pencil line, because we've not got anything straight we can rest against. So you want to try and make sure that you are in that straight line. So this is where maybe like a pencil and ruler, something like that might help. But what I do is little and often. So little and often. And because the shape of the triangle, this is why you don't have to do it on all 3 sides. If you just do it from the top, and then there you go. It's a really simple way. So I know many people struggle with triangles, but all you need to do is just trim off one side. So I'm going to do the same now for what would be that part. As you can see, that one and then that one, they're going to be exactly the same size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim from here, and I'm just eyeballing it. I'm usually quite good at getting things straight. And then little and often, so yeah, I need to do a little bit more. And just by going and trimming from that one side, because of the shape that a triangle is, it keeps its shape, it's just getting smaller each time. So that one, we're going to come into here. And then both of those layers had a fair bit taken off, maybe, I don't know, just under about 1/4 of an inch, something like that. Yeah, I need a little bit more. So if you ever need to mat and layer, or or create mats and layers for it for triangle or a triangle shape or an elongated triangle, do not fear. All you need to do is just take it from that one side of a triangle. Now, because these are basically, well, they're exactly the same, what I can do is I can just make sure they're married up, and then I can go along and either draw a pencil line, just marry up so they're exactly the same, because then that one will be flipped over, and then the same. Now this one, just because of the shape of it, I think what I'm going to do is let's just draw a pencil line. So because of course this one that we've just cut is going to be smaller than that one, we're going to overlay it over the top. I know obviously you're not going to see it because it's black and black, although I can hardly see it, but it doesn't really matter. All that I'm just going to do is just draw along that edge there, and it just makes it easier than what I'd done a moment ago with the other triangle. That other triangle was thicker, so it was able to get a good grab with it. So I'm just going to line that up, and then that's going to be my layers. And then, as we have been lately, let's take a piece of our A4 white essential cardstock and let's do a mat and layer. So it's 7 by 7, so I'm going to go back to my large guillotine. So 7 by 7, let's go 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. And then let's take a white card, which would be our insert or our verse, 6.5 by 6.5. And then what I will do probably for those ones, I think my glue might still be a little temperamental. However, I'm going to bear with it, just because we've got the really fine points that we're going to go in with the glue. Yeah, you can use your double-sided tape, you can use your tape runner, certainly your dotty tape runner in the corners. As always, it's personal preference. I can recommend certain adhesives for certain things, but you can then do as you wish. So let's pop that one on. So it's no, for many it's maybe not going to be one of the most complicated or complex concepts to do. But I thought, when I said it, I thought I would struggle. I don't mean 10 years ago or 5 years ago, I mean just the other year. I always looked at it, and because I don't really, although you don't have to use this just for Art Deco, it's got that Art Deco vibe. And because I don't do Art Deco cards really, I've just never got around to making it. And then there was one time I thought, you know what, no, I'm going to attempt it, and seeing how easy it was. So there is our layers. Now that one I am going to add my tape, just because I'm going to go all the way around the edge. So if I do use my tape for triangles, I do tend to come right off the edge and then just trim. I know it's tissue tape, but it's hard to just tear that tiny little bit. You could peel the tape off and then just fold that back. Let's just pop a bit down the middle, and then take these ones off. So yeah, it's maybe a really lovely bouquet. If you're not one that does a lot of Art Deco either, maybe a lovely bouquet of flowers, something like that. That would look nice. I'm going to open it up because I find it easier to do once opened. So So once I've got that where I want it, so look at that, your perfect matting layer, and that was simply trimming from one edge. One edge. So I'm going to take a drink of my tea. And then, do you know what? This one, let me just get this right because I flipped them over, didn't I? So that's that way, and then that's that way. If you do still see your pencil line, you can of course take your rubber, your eraser, and rub it out. And there's that one too. So much for me saying I was going to use my glue, eh? So that's those. So let's just take those ones off. What I'm not going to do is, obviously I know in the last lot I've just trimmed them off, but what I can do there is just fold it back. Just watch it doesn't actually curve the opposite way. But if you're using Stix2 or you're using ours, because you've still got a strong adhesion to it, a strong structure to the adhesive tape. It's not light or flimsy. So there's very high chance. There's a very lot less of a chance of it folding in on itself. So there's that one. Let's take that one just there. It's the only thing, but both sides overlap. There we go. There's that one. And then there's that one. Always turn your card around so it's easier for you to mat and layer. To others it might look at an awkward angle, but as long as it's easier for you, that's what matters. So I'm going to go in with my glue just because you've got a couple of finer points here. So let's right down to the tip, like so. And then let's pop that in. And I'm just going to let that grab for a few moments. And all that I'm doing is I'm just trying to make sure that I've got the same width at each side from that one and that one. Although that would be tucked under, but do you know what? It's worthwhile doing that. And then let's go in here. So just to the tip, and then down again. And actually what I'm going to do this time is I'm actually going to start to match it up and start from that side. And then press down. As you can see, I've opened it up as I've matting and layering. Let's just press. I'm just going to pop my pin back in my glue so I don't forget. And then there we go. So let's fold that back on itself the way that it was. There we go. Give it a good burnish to make sure it stands. And then once again, there you go. Ready for you to decorate as you wish. And as you can see, still stands up. I know obviously the angle that you're at, but you can see that it is standing up absolutely fine. And you've got that one there. There you go. So there's how you can do it. It's up to you. You might want to mat and layer the inside. But there you go. That's how you can then turn that into one of those, can't remember, I can't think off the top of my head what they're called. There is a name for it. you need to have a look and pop it in the description. But then there you go. And then that's how, when it comes to triangles, that's how it's really, really, really easy to then create the mats and layers. Just trim off by that one side. If you're unsure about the side, always trim from the longest side. For instance, when it comes to that one there being the prime example, I trimmed from that longest side. That's what I've done. If it's 3 equal sides, and then that's it. So hopefully you enjoyed that one and it's helped. And if it has helped you and you've maybe seen it in the past and you've thought, oh, it's a bit complicated, maybe you've never seen it before, but you thought, oh, I quite like that one, then hopefully this helps. If you do make anything that I share here or that and you pop it on social, you're more than welcome to do tag Hunkydory Crafts and myself, Craig.Hunkydory. That'd be really appreciated. Love to see it. But until the next time, keep giving me the thumbs up. Keep commenting and keep subscribing, and we'll see you again right here on the Hunkydory Crafts YouTube channel. We'll see you then. Bye.